Nvidia's GPU Technology Conference, or GTC, kicks off today. Is it the Woodstock of AI? Welcome back to the AI Breakdown Brief, all the AI headline news you need in around 5 minutes. Today we are kicking off with what some have dubbed the Woodstock of AI, the Nvidia GTC conference. Indeed, they're calling it the conference for the era of AI, so they are not backing down from the hype. The event is expected to bring tens of thousands of people in person, as well as hundreds of thousands of people participating online, and the most anticipated part of the event is a keynote from CEO Jensen Wang scheduled for Monday, where he's anticipated to premiere the company's new B100 chips. Bloomberg writes, "The rumor is that the B100 will be the company's first multi-die product, a breakthrough in technology whereby a larger design is partitioned into smaller chiplets for superior performance. And crucially, it's supposed to have almost double the power of Nvidia's current generation H100, the powerhouse used to train many of the world's most capable LLMs." Bloomberg continues, "Traditionally, developer conferences target the engineers and computer scientists building software and applications. The resounding theme of each I've attended this year has been AI, and Nvidia won't disappoint on that front. What's remarkable is that Nvidia will unveil a new hardware component that's attracting a level of excitement usually reserved for consumer products from big tech." They also add the color that when Jensen Wang gave his first GTC keynote back in 2009, 15 years ago, there were fewer than 1,000 people in the ballroom, whereas this year there's expected to be 10,000, and between then and now, Nvidia's shares have gone up more than 24,000%. In anticipation of the event, Wall Street analysts are definitely getting excited. Price targets for Nvidia stock have jumped between $850 and $900, up to $1,000 or even $1,100. As for Nvidia employees, they're clearly excited. Jim Fan writes, "Can't wait to see Jensen's GTC keynote tomorrow, the biggest Nvidia festival of the year. Make sure you stay till the end. Our newly founded Gear Lab has something special to share, winky face." Bilawal Situ points out that there's also pretty incredible speakers at the event. He shared a list of the sessions that he's excited to attend, all with some pretty big hitters. I'm sure we will be back here tomorrow to give you the update on what Jensen announces during his keynote. But for now, let's move on to our next topic, which is actually a follow-up on something from last week. Elon Musk and xAI have followed through on Elon's Twitter promise and open-sourced Grok. The Verge writes, "On March 11th, Elon Musk said xAI would open-source its AI chatbot Grok, and now an open release is available on GitHub. In a blog post, the company writes, 'We are releasing the weights and architecture of our 314 billion parameter mixture of experts model Grok 1. They write, "This is the raw base model checkpoint from the Grok 1 pre-training phase, which concluded in October 2023. This means that the model is not fine-tuned for any specific application, such as dialogue. The weights and architecture are being released under the Apache 2.0 license, which means that this is available for commercial use." Matthew Berman sums up the excitement of the community when he writes, "Elon Musk's Grok LLM was just open sourced. It's uncensored, massive, and completely open source. Spite is a powerful motivator. Lol." Moving over into a very different dimension, the US military is this week convening more than 40 countries to discuss the responsible use of AI in military applications. This builds on a political declaration led by the US military that was signed by these partner nations last year, and is a way to try to get specific about what this means. BreakingDefense.com writes, 13 months after the State Department rolled out its political declaration on ethical military AI, representatives from the countries who signed it will gather outside of Washington to discuss next steps. Said a senior State Department official, "We've got over 100 participants from at least 42 of the 53 countries. We really want to have a system to keep states focused on the issue of responsible AI and really focused on building practical capacity." Now, at this event, they are going to talk about literally every military application of AI. That means, of course, things like unmanned weapons and battle networks, to back office systems for cybersecurity, logistics, maintenance, personnel management, and more. Writes Breaking Defense, "This isn't just a talking shop for diplomats," the state official emphasized. Interestingly, the State Department, at least from a narrative perspective, is very focused on how AI can not just improve the way that we kill each other, but how to make military operations more humane. A state official said, "We see tremendous promise in this technology. We see tremendous upside. We think this will help countries discharge their international humanitarian law obligations, so we want to maximize those advantages while minimizing any potential downside risk." Meanwhile, another big political event is happening in South Korea at the Summit for Democracy, which is part of a US-led initiative to focus on the erosion of democracy around the world. At that event, South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol singled out artificial intelligence, and specifically the fake news and disinformation from the technology, as a major threat to democracy, specifically pointing the finger at countries like Russia and China, who are using it to extend their propaganda campaigns. I've mentioned this before, but it is very notable to me how much, even as individual governments talk about regulating AI, military and geopolitical establishments are just adopting it at an incredibly rapid pace. Anyways, guys, that is going to do it for today's AI Breakdown Brief. Next up, the main AI Breakdown.